Better girl. So don't even start talking yet.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you all for keeping me in check. I was like, I have reminders and messages, record, record, record. So anyhow, we are recording, and so what I wanted to, I want to actually coach around two different things. So maybe I'll open it up to you all and let you decide what I coach about today. So let me just first mute everyone. Susan, of course, thank you.
Seriously.
Katie. All right, so we're good to go. All right, so what I wanted to talk about today, and you guys can put it in the chat feature down below what you would kind of like to hear about, but I have two different things that kind of keep popping up, and one is I wanted to kind of dive into what are the three things that you all did this week to prepare for your week in order to set yourself up for success, right? So much of health is involved in us not running ourselves to death in an overdrive, but really having a plan, kind of an action plan for both like the foods that we eat, you know, organizing supplements, whatever works best for you, etc. So that was going to be a topic that I dove into. That was what was on my plan until I did a follow-up with a client that graduated the program. It's been a while now, to find out how he's doing. I wanted to, I think it's been 6 months. I wanted a 6-month report. And what he shared with me is in September, he lost a dear, dear, loved family member very suddenly. And it had a great impact and set him back. And so that was going to be a topic that I talked about because I thought, you know what, this is really good for us because there are certain things that we can't prepare for mentally and emotionally, right? And he said to me, he said, I am sticking to my eating and I am still exercising. I haven't gained weight. And I said, of course, can you all guess? What are you doing for your stress? So anyhow, this is a topic that I definitely want to dive into at some point, whether it's today or not, because you all need to know that there are going to be things that come up. Now, honestly, this is where at the end of the program, I want you all to start having a little flexibility and freedom and messing up on your plan occasionally to see what kind of setbacks are going to happen so we can start to tweak that, right? But I also want you all to have the confidence to know you have all the tools that you need to get yourself back on track. So which topic would you like to hear about? Okay, I'm unmuting everyone. So dive in.
I don't care, either one is interesting.
Okay.
I gotta be honest, I would think that, you know, as far as, you know, having a plan, especially like meal plans and all things like that, I think that maybe for all of us, it'd probably be a little easier to still be able to eat healthier come Thanksgiving time. Christmas is going to be super hard, you know, so, but like you said, you can't ever prepare for something bad to ever happen, you know? So, I mean, I personally would probably prefer that one right now over, yeah.
The plan, is that the one that you're talking about?
Well, I would talk about how to deal with the, you know,
tragedies,
yeah, because you can never prepare for those. I mean, you
Okay.
can always have a plan later for yourself and your food and stuff like that, you know.
So put up number 2 if that's the one that you want to hear about. So 2, so okay. So that's where we'll go. So And then we'll talk about top 3 things that you guys are doing on a weekly basis in our next call, okay? So first thing that I want to mention is that the majority of us, I think that we only have 1 or 2 that is not a slow COMT gene. Diane, you'll understand this a little bit more after we get your results. So that COMT gene is what's responsible for neutralizing the neurotransmitters, norepinephrine, epinephrine, once we have that response to stress. Okay, and when we have a slow COMT gene, that keeps us in this heightened stress state for a longer period of time. When we are forced to be grieving and being a caregiver and losing a loved one are some of the top hardest things on our health. And for those of you that have been placed in that situation can probably agree. And even, even parenting, I think, goes right up in there, because sometimes, children can be extremely trying, but it's that tragedy where we can't control that situation, and we have to allow ourselves to grieve. Okay, it's okay. So what we do in that situation is, first of all, tendency is to beat yourself up because you give yourself a little bit of grace and you fall off the wagon just a bit. And then all of a sudden the negativity begins in the brain of, oh, that my health is going to suffer now because I'm not doing this perfect. We've talked about this. So Ashley, I have talked about this a little, but this happens, and then we keep ourselves propelled into this state. Okay, whereas what I would encourage you all to do, what I've encouraged this client to do, is really, really go heavy. Do the things that you can control in that situation. That is your breath work, okay? But when you're in such a state of grief, depression, gosh, sometimes it's really hard to be like, okay, I'm going to go meditate, because you're mad, you're angry, you're feeling all this stuff, and you just kind of want to feel it for a minute, and that's okay. So what I encourage you all to do is give yourself the grace of saying, give yourself a time frame, though, because you've got to have yourself, you got to have a check system for someone another loved one that's involved with you, a friend or to say, okay, give me a good kick in the butt if I'm still not taking action steps to move forward by this point. Does that make sense? So you kind of grieve the process. You do the things that you can do, like perhaps it's, if you can get yourself to meditate. This is a situation that I often find that it's easier, instead of just doing a static meditation by myself, to actually enter into a community setting, maybe doing whatever it is that you like. So whether that's a group yoga class that's going to give you that relaxation effect, maybe it's a massage, maybe it's soaking in the tub with some essential oils. It's going to be very different for each of you, right? But do the things that you can control that are going to help to boost your mood. Now, if you come off of your meal plan or your exercise regimen and you're really struggling getting back on track, then that's when you need to reach out to me, right? That's when you need to say, hey, Leslie, this is what I'm going through, and it's been really hard, and now my symptoms have kicked back up. What's going to happen is we may have to tweak some things, okay? And that's normal. We may have to boost some things to help you with mood stabilization. There are plenty of supplements that can help with that. that is, you know, unless we need to do a full-blown session, that's something that I do because I care, right? Because I want you all to have sustained, not just short-term results, but sustained results. And you're going to come across situations where you don't necessarily know where you need to focus your attention. And if that's the case, that's when you need to reach out, and we need to either tweak your plan a little, or I'll give you, you know, 3 action steps that you're going to try for maybe 2 weeks, you know, and then report back. Okay. So those are kind of the things that I would like to say. Part of it is having the confidence. And so what I can tell you is, by working with very sick people for over 15 years now, is that healing is never just this perfect upward progress and you stay high. And no, things happen in life, and we all have genetic tendencies and different things to that nature that can bring us back down. The thing of it is that each time you get back up, you develop confidence, because you all have the tools. The tools don't change. They may need to be tweaked, but they don't change. You all can go and spend hours and hours and hours of research over different tools, but what I can tell you is that what you're being taught, these are the tools that you need for optimal health. So you may just need encouragement to help you get back on track and where you need to focus your attention. Any questions over that? Okay. All right, well, let's dive into questions. So can I start? Let me start with Dottie's questions, because she wasn't able to jump on, and she did have a few questions that she wants to answer. And I'm scared I'll forget. So her questions are headache relief. Like beyond peppermint oil, what to do for a nagging several-day ache that's nauseating, okay? And so with this, I have been kind of pushing her to do a bit of a detox naturally through food. And so that is something that, that, you know, we need to dive into to see if this is part of the die-off and detox process that she's dealing with. What I would always encourage with headache is, one, are you drinking enough fluids, right? And maybe, and I think that she was struggling with the lemon water as well. Peppermint oil definitely works great. Deep breathing, and Dottie, I can show you a breathing technique that's specific. It's called the alternate nostril breath that may help with headaches. Anybody else have some good ones? Ice to the back of the neck, if it's coming from like the stress and those suboccipitals. So just right to the base of the neck has been helpful. Does anybody else have any other strategies?
Sometimes a heating pad on the back of your neck works too.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. And then does anyone else get the weird body full of lightning bugs, electric impulse? Someone is shaking the bed under me, or an earthquake feeling. So I found this interesting. Have any of you experienced this? Katie, you have?
Oh, well, yeah, but that's, I mean, it's more of like maybe a Western medicine thing that they just kind of wrap that kind of feeling up with having multiple sclerosis. So every time that I would get that feeling, and that's all that I would connect it to, is that that's just all it is. It just feels like it's kind of like if you stick your tongue on a battery and you just have that little, you know, but it's like all over your body, just that little Yeah, like
How has
electricity.
that changed? And also another thing that I do feel like this is partially associated with some anxiety experience and neurotransmitter activity is, I think, is what she is actually experiencing. And I definitely think that that's due to an underlying gut dysbiosis. But how has yours changed?
Well,
So
it's
the
gotten,
detox.
well, yeah, definitely. Since I've never had a problem with it since the detox at all. Um, but I mean, really, the only time that anything would I would feel it more so, I would say, because of the dystonia, because of the tension that was in the neck
Okay.
and the shoulders, when especially that first top two vertebrae, and I learned this from my PT, you know, when those get really tight up in there, you can start to get that off balance dizzy feeling, but that'll start to tighten up against the nerves too, which can also give you that
Yeah,
that
that's what
tingling
I.
feeling. So it's gotten a whole lot better for me after, you know, after I did all that detox.
Yeah.
I notice for me, like the headache, if we go back to like the headaches and the tingling, sometimes I get the tingling in just my head. It like vibrates around my skull. But I tend to get that when I'm really stressed or if I haven't been to the chiropractor in about a month and I build up all the tension in my neck.
Okay.
So like a massage or a chiropractor always helps.
Good. All right. Okay. Well, now let's open it up. Who has questions? If you're muted, make sure to unmute yourself.
Leslie, I do.
Go ahead.
What is, how, I know we're all at different stages, but how, when you talk about graduation, like, how does that happen for all of us? Will we do it when we get to that point and then we'll still be able to be with you on this session, or?
You won't be able to be on the group session, so you will officially be discharged. Okay, so what we do is you and I will have a private session, and I set you up on a what I call a lifelong plan, and I give you. So what we do is we talk about your current, where you are right now, what you need to continue and for how long, and how you're going to know when it's time to move to your maintenance plan. Okay, and then I give you a new plan for your maintenance plan. All right, and this is what you're going to do the majority of the year, but 1 month per quarter. You're gonna, and I'll give you this, you're gonna go back and do a 1 month kind of a gut restoration, because during the rest of that quarter, you're gonna allow in the things that give you happiness, right? And so with that, sometimes our gut gets a little off balance, and especially whatever our tendencies are. And I use your genetics to show you these are gonna be your tendencies. If these symptoms start to creep up, then that's when you pull it back.
Okay, I remember you telling me that in the beginning, but I just kind of wanted to review.
Yep. So that's what we do on that last day. And then at any, at any time, if some people, there are some people that'll want a yearly follow-up. Just to revisit labs and to make sure that they're staying on track. But I do also give you, based on your genetics, I do give you some different labs that your doctor may not be running that would be really beneficial to track mainly your inflammatory markers, and for those of you that have methylation issues, to track that process. Okay, so things that can be pushed through insurance. So that's how it goes.
Along with that too, we'll settle in on our, like, I guess the final supplements that you would have us get, right?
That's right. Yeah, you'll have 3 different supplement lists whenever you graduate. So I
have a quick gluten question. Is anybody else having, I can't decide about the gluten. Like, I feel like I really need to stay with it, But then every once in a while, like maybe even once a week, I might be out somewhere and want to enjoy a hamburger, which is my protein boost right now, whatever, and I might eat half of the bun. And sometimes I think, okay, it really is bothering me. It gives me a stomach ache almost away. And other times it doesn't seem to bother me. So I can't, I mean, I've been doing the gluten-free and I haven't eaten Cheerios. I still want my Cheerios.
You've asked me about those
silly
Cheerios since day one. Yeah.
They have gluten-free Cheerios, you know.
I know, but they have a ton, very high level of Roundup in Cheerios.
Oh, they do, yeah.
Yeah.
I'm just teasing.
I know you are. I bet you like the honey roasted Cheerios too.
Oh, actually, I don't. I just enjoy the plain ones. But
The plain ones.
I used to put sugar on them, so same difference, I guess. But yeah, no. Anyway.
Yeah.
But I'm so confused about the gluten. I don't.
Here's the deal. This is what the maintenance plan is all about. I mean, you're kind of there now,
Close.
right?
Yeah. Close.
I guarantee you, if you ate gluten every day and just allowed yourself, gluten is highly inflammatory for every single one of us. It is going to cause leaky gut. If you eat gluten every single day for 2 weeks straight, you're going to get leaky gut again. You're going to be responding to more foods from an inflammatory standpoint, right? Your joints are going to start healing.
All right.
But for you to have a little bit, what occasionally is not going to be the end of the world unless you are seeing a pretty significant response to it.
Okay.
Hey, Susan, I don't know if this would help either, but it's my understanding that the brand called Cascadian Farms, they make a lot of different kind of cereals. And I know that they were listed as one of the companies and one of the brands that are pretty much almost all of their ingredients are all natural and they don't have any of that, of the pesticides and all that other Roundup and yucky junk.
And they do have a Cheerio-like.
Do you find it at Trader Joe's? I've not seen that.
They have it at Whole Foods, Susan.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
It's actually made by General Mills.
Yeah, I think I've seen it at Walmart before.
Yeah.
I've seen it at Walmart and Giant Eagle and all kinds of other stuff.
Okay.
Kroger.
Here, I'm going to send that to you, Susan. I'll send that
I wrote
to you.
it down, I think.
Okay, you got it.
Farms. Yeah, I got it.
Let me know.
Okay.
I was always a big cereal person too.
It's quick is why I like it, but I've been eating a lot of oatmeal, so it's all right.
Yeah. All right, ladies, next.
Thank you.
So, Leslie, I had this weird thing for like 5 days where my urine turned to almost like a light orange tint, and then all of a sudden it was just gone. And I have no idea what caused it. It was around the time that I was getting sick. So it was it started happening just in the morning, the day after I called off work and had a cold really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And it was just in the morning for 3 days or so. And then Saturday it was all day. And then Sunday I woke up and I was fine. And it was gone.
That's bizarre. Did you that wasn't affiliated with those new supplements that I sent you though?
I haven't gotten the supplements yet.
You haven't received the supplements?
No.
So I sent those last week whenever you reached out.
Yeah, that's what I thought because I paid for them online, but I haven't seen them.
They are headed your way. Who else? Kathy's not on here. I sent her some too the same day.
Yeah, and I feel a little bit sick again today, so I'm hoping they're in my mailbox when I get home.
They should be. I cannot imagine because you're in Ohio, right? It's not
Yeah.
like you're far from me.
Mm-mm.
Okay. Well, I did drop them in the mail. So nothing that you ate? You weren't eating a lot of beta carotene?
I don't think so.
Sweet potatoes?
No, because I had soup when I was sick, and they didn't have sweet potatoes, and they had carrots in it, tomato juice. that was
But
organic.
not like an abundant amount to explain that.
No, just a few carrots. I don't really like cooked carrots, so I tried not to put many of them in.
Yeah.
But I did go off a little bit and eat gluten-free bread with agave on it.
Mm-hmm.
And that made me feel like a little bit tired, and I think it was just from the sugar.
Mm-hmm.
But that was the only thing I changed, and for some reason it was like a light orange tint, and then it was gone.
I have no idea, to be honest with you.
Okay.
That's,
I was like, maybe it has something to do with my liver. I don't know. I was like, I have no
Mhm.
idea. But I mean, it went away on its own. So
yeah, I don't know what would cause that.
okay.
Whether it would be food-based, that would be my initial thought, is just like food-based, you know. But not if you're not. And then I'm glad that, you know, you didn't start a new supplement or anything like that.
Yeah, I didn't start anything new.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know how long it's going to take my body to stop reacting to things. It's been like 4 months now.
Right.
Like I even put lotion on that is like all natural. And I mean, it had a little bit stronger scent than most lotions I have, but it's the same brand I always use. And it made my hands swell up. But if I go back to like the original shea butter from the same brand, it never bothers me.
Does it have fragrance on it? Because if it has fragrance,
I didn't even
you
look.
have
I gave it away.
Okay, good. If it had, see, that's what's tricky about the personal care products, is that if it has the word natural,
they can hide a lot of stuff there.
800 chemicals.
Yeah, I remember you saying that.
Yeah, so I mean,
it was like a smaller portion, like a holiday, like little mini hand lotion, and so it had a much stronger scent to it. But it like didn't have any alcohol, didn't have any sulfates, you know. So I checked all that stuff for perfume.
Yeah. Right.
But for some reason, I put it on and like instantly, both of my hands were bright red. I was like, "What in the world? How long is this going to take for my immune system to?"
So for you, you know, you have had you had a lot more going on.
Yeah.
The nice way to put it. So I'm excited to get your Dutch Plus back. They did receive it, right? I just got an email just the other day. So I'm excited to see those results, and then we can kind of, you know, look after everything. I think sometimes with healing the gut, it does take a little bit longer. And then also, you took a couple of hiatuses in there, you know, that could have set us back a little. But I mean, it's not a big deal.
Okay.
I know it is for you when you put your stuff on and it causes your hands to swell. But that to me is an IgE response. It's not necessarily like a sensitivity response. It is a heightened immune system response. So that does tell me that there's still stuff going on there. You know, again, we're going to be able to see more once we get the Dutch Plus back, because that has the markers on there, the organic acid markers that we'll get to see. So we'll get to see what your oxidative stress is looking like right now and all of that.
Okay.
Right.
Hey, Leslie, do you go and test all of that stuff all over again at the end of everybody's, program?
No.
Okay, just wondered.
Yeah, test what? All the Dutch Plus and...
Yeah, I mean, I guess just test any kind of levels.
No, so those are things that you can, I'll give you a list of what you can have your doctor check, right? Okay. But I go based on your symptoms. You know what I'm saying? So I want to teach you all, and there have actually been a ton of studies, and I know that some of you all can relate, because there are some of you in here that had a gazillion tests ran before you came into this program. A gazillion. And what did it do for your mindset? It's a whirlwind down, because it messes with your mind, okay? So I want you all to trust how your body feels. And there's actually been recent report that came out. Did I tell you all this week about Hashimoto's and about the level of antibodies, which is just fascinating because, again, I look at a lot of people's levels that have been checked over the years, and it's like, why do my levels go up, down, up, down, up, down? Do I have Hashimoto's? And the question is that their thyroid levels will maybe be within the normal range, but they vary a little. What they found out is anything between 0 and 500. Now, they'll diagnose you with Hashimoto's anything over 50, okay? But what they found out is anything between 0 and 500 is an insignificant finding of actually how your immune system is affecting your thyroid. Okay, how triggered you are, or how active your autoimmunity is. It's really not a very sensitive marker. And yet this is what the doctors will use, like, to track your levels. And so these people will be like, I mean, I'm feeling great. I'm feeling much better. And then they go back and their markers have gotten higher, but yet all their other values are normal. Their markers get higher. And you know what that does? This is with their mind. And then all of a sudden you go down that cascade of, oh my goodness, why is my immune system attacking my body? And boom, you've activated your sympathetic nervous system. And so that's where it's very important. So a lot of very reputable functional medicine docs will run just what they need to run to see, okay? And then you let the symptoms guide your treatment approach from there. Because how many times, if you are that person that's ran a bunch of tests, how many times have you been sitting in front of someone and yet they don't see they don't hear what you're feeling? They only look at those numbers that are in front of them. That's a real problem, right? Because at the end of the day, it's the person that's in front of you, the patient, the client, that needs to be treated. Does that make sense?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. All right. I want to hear. So, Brittany, are you at work? I'm going to unmute her and just double check that. Hey, Brittany, are you at work?
No, not yet. No,
Oh.
I'm just doing some housework while this.
Okay. All right. Do you have any questions? How are you doing?
I'm doing okay. I just wondered, how long do you want me to stay on the low FODMAP?
Let's talk about that. I want you. Let's talk about that via chat, because I want to hear how you're doing, kind of more personal stuff. So let's kind of dive into the bloating, and then we'll probably start to reintroduce.
Okay, yay.
Hey. Yeah.
So that's what I'm getting ready to run out of the Candida supplement, and didn't know if you want me to reorder that too.
Let me take a look, probably.
Okay, and I'll send you what I'm running low on too, to see.
Okay. Yeah.
So I'll send you that via chat.
Okay, perfect. Sounds great.
Yay.
Yeah, I'll message you, and because I want to know just a few more details. All
Okay.
Right. Okay.
Sounds good.
Okay. All right. Who's next?
I have a question.
Yes.
If I add a supplement or eat something different and nothing changes, I don't, it just seems like no matter what I do, nothing changes. I'm not having new symptoms. Sometimes they get a little worse,
Mm-hmm.
but I'm just confused why everything just stays the same.
That's why we're running further tests on you.
Okay.
Now, so you haven't, because I have been wanting an update from you. You haven't noticed any changes with bowel movements or anything since we started you just started the biofilm, didn't you?
I've had 3 pills.
Oh, okay. 3 days worth?
3 days worth, 3 times.
Okay. And I kind of started you slow, right?
Yeah, I'm just doing one.
Yeah. Okay. So no
One
difference.
I've been doing it at night after I eat.
And no changes?
No, nothing, no differences anywhere.
No, it's not worse. I
Well,
think that's what we need to look at for you is we're getting ready to start to target some really nasty stuff. And so I need you to not get worse.
okay,
And
well,
that means die off.
today my knee, and all night I couldn't lift my knee. The pain was excruciating.
Okay.
I have to use my arms to help me. But
Okay.
when I stand up and walk on it, I'm fine.
Yeah, I think that those kind of things are going to be normal for you, just the random joint stuff. You know what I'm saying? Because of
Right.
so what I want you to be more focused on is the global system. I mean, the global symptoms. So systemic, like, oh, all of a sudden your hands. I always like to use hands as kind of a good judge, right? Where all of a sudden all the joints in the hands feel stiff, not just this joint. Okay? That's usually a sign of global inflammation. The other thing would be severe fatigue, more so, headache, different things like that. Or for you, like, making sure that you're still going to having a bowel movement. That's really, really important while we're starting to kind of kill off the bad stuff.
Well, in that case, I never know when to take the Dulcolax, or because today there's no indication that I'm ever going to have it's ever going to happen. Yesterday I had no issues.
You went just fine?
Yeah, just all of a sudden I had a movement, and it was the only one, and it was good.
Yay!
Yeah.
Can we just celebrate that for a second? Yeah. Holy moly!
Yeah. But
that's awesome.
Today I don't feel like there's anything gonna happen.
Okay, and you took it, did you take it yesterday too?
No, I haven't. I don't take it unless I start really having some major stomach pains.
Let's try to take it. I need you to go daily.
Okay.
That is to help with the motility, to get things coming out of your body so we can rid it. That's the only way that we can get things out of the body.
So should I take it at night or take it in the morning, or?
Take it at night before you go to bed. Okay, do you just take one pill?
I got the liquid.
Oh, okay. So take it at night. Let's take it at night before bed.
Okay. All right.
I would like for you to take it at night before bed and wake up in the morning and have a bowel movement and be done.
Me too. I would like for that to happen.
If we find that you go in the middle of the night, please don't hate me. You can cuss me. You can cuss me in the middle of the night, and then we'll make changes. Okay, so I'm just gonna say sorry up front if that does happen. I apologize.
Okay.
But ideally, I would like for you to take it at night and then first thing in the morning. Go.
Okay.
All right.
All right. Well, I'll add that to my regimen.
So yeah, I pulled back off of everything for you. Right? I pulled everything back.
I'm just doing the brain sustain, 1 candicidal, 1
Biofilm.
One biofilm and one of the GI Microbe X. That's all I'm doing.
Okay.
And I've been doing the GI and the candicidal now for 3 days.
Mm-hmm.
And so I'm supposed to bump it up in 2 days.
Yes.
Okay.
What I'd like for you to do is bump it up to, you can go ahead today since you're not feeling anything. So
Okay.
today, if you want, you could go ahead and bump it up to 2 pills twice a day of each
Okay.
of those.
Okay.
I'm sorry, 1 pill twice a day of each of those.
Okay. Gotcha.
And
Okay.
then in 3 more days, if you're still not noticing a difference, then go ahead and bump to 2 pills twice a day. When are you going to the lab?
Thursday.
Yay. Yes. Okay. Perfect. Thursday morning?
Probably Thursday afternoon.
Okay. And then you'll contact DHL for pickup?
Yes.
I wonder if you could just drop it off at a UPS store while you're
I
out.
probably could.
I would call about that and make sure.
Okay. I can do that.
Let me know how it goes when you bump it.
Okay.
Right.
All right then. Thank you.
Welcome. Next up.
I had a quick question for you.
Yeah.
Now that especially with the cortisol, that has really helped me kind of level things off right now. It's been fantastic.
Yeah.
And I don't know if maybe this has something to do with the fact that over the past like 4 days, I have not been eating good. I've been bad, and eating a lot of especially beef and meat. And I had a roast and stuff, which is just harder for me to digest anyways.
Mm-hmm.
But I've been having, you can tell in my stomach that it's just been really hard to digest things.
Mm-hmm.
But I did not know if at this point in time when I needed to back off of the Minrex that I had, because I
Mhm.
think that since I stopped treatment, I think it's been 3 or 4 weeks now,
Mhm.
and I'm still taking it, and I don't know if that makes anything worse either.
It shouldn't. It
Okay.
shouldn't. I mean, what the Minrex are, they're just minerals that are naturally found in the body, and they're at appropriate levels. So, I mean, it has zinc in there, which zinc's really important for healing the gut and digestion and absorption. So, it has calcium in there. So I can't imagine that would be the problem. I think it's probably just the deviation of food a little. And so let's see if you tighten it up just a little bit. So bring it back. So, and balance it out. I mean, you're doing great. I see all of your food coming across. So you're doing.
That's funny. All the ones you comment on are like the ones that are like really bad, and I'm like, oh God, I eat really good, and then she comments on all the bad ones.
No, that's not bad. I see your little Chick-fil-A.
It's every week. It's the best place to go. It's the only one with the G-free fries. So,
Yeah, I agree. And they're non-genetically modified. So, yep, I agree. No, you're doing great. I mean, I expect that at this point in your program, that you should be deviating a little and exploring and experimenting with food. What can your body tolerate and what can't it? Okay, and so maybe 4 days straight is a little too much. So maybe pull back off of that and still,
Yeah.
See.
Okay.
Mm-hmm. All right, who's next? We have Rebecca and Katrin and Tana. Go for it, Rebecca.
I missed in celebrations that I got my compliments 3 and 4, and they are inching up. I mean down. No, up. I think it's up. Anyway, all of my blood work has started slowly going to where it's supposed to go. So Yeah, so that's exciting. Then eating, I continue to test the waters, and I think I'm just not going to be a dairy person. And sometimes it's hard for me to tell for sure it's dairy because it seems like whenever I add dairy, I add sugar at the same time. So those are my two main culprits. Gluten is not much of a problem. I just stay away from it. But dairy and sugar are my hardest. I think I do need to stay away from them, though. Inflammation is just bad with those two. So,
it may be something though. So kind of the rule of thumb is, depending on how bad your reaction is that you pull it and then you retry in a month.
Okay.
And then if you still have that reaction, so you kind of do it on a monthly basis. So sometimes it can take, depending on how reactive your IgG response is to that specific, to dairy. Now, you also have to go back and look at your genetics and just double check your lactose intolerance gene there.
Okay.
Some of us are genetically do not produce that enzyme to break that down. And that may be the case for you. Go back and look.
And I don't
usually
remember
that's usually something that I will put in the lab review if it's an issue for you.
Okay.
But I mean, it is something that a lot of us have sensitivities to dairy, right? However, as for some of us, we are genetically lactose intolerant. And then for others, we've just developed a sensitivity to it because of a leaky gut situation. And then as you heal the gut and continue to heal the gut, you can, tolerate a little bit. Usually the harder cheeses are a little more tolerable than soft cheeses or milk or different things to that nature.
What if it's casein and not lactose?
It could
Does it show up anywhere?
You're exactly right.
Does that show up in genetics?
That would not show up in the genetics.
Okay.
That could be the case as well. Some people are very sensitive.
Okay. And then do you know offhand if My Dutch Plus came in?
I was just in there yesterday and did not see it, but let me just double check.
Leslie, I sent My Dutch Plus in a couple weeks ago, and I don't think I got an email from them, but I wasn't sure. I can probably track. I haven't tracked it.
I didn't get an email either, Ashley.
Okay. So they'll probably just tell her when it's ready then.
Maybe.
So Ashley, I do not see yours. Rebecca, yours is in. So, yep.
I just called them just to see, and they just said, "Oh yeah, we have it. It'll be about a week.
Good.
Like you can call in and just ask if you're wondering."
Yeah, Rebecca, I have yours, and so you and we can jump on a call this week. I will give me just a little bit of time to look over it. But I was just in there yesterday and didn't see that in there, so I either overlooked it or they have just uploaded it. But they do not. So Dutch Plus or Precision Analytical does not give. Like, I don't even receive the notifications from them. So it's something that I have to manually check. But anyhow, what does your schedule look like?
I just have a couple things each day, but I can work around. So is there any way for me to look at yours to see if there's an opening? Okay. Can I do that? Later in the week, just look for openings?
Yep.
Okay.
Absolutely.
I'll do that.
Yes. And then I may have to switch you but I mean, my calendar should be pretty up to date.
Okay. All right. Thanks.
Your skin looks good, by the way.
Oh, good. Is it less red today? It comes and goes.
Yep. It's going to be.
I'm gonna get some Beauty Counter though. Hopefully that will help.
Wait for I know you're probably anxious.
Yeah, I will. Will it actually be on Black Friday or will they let it out? Okay.
They might. If they do, I'll let you know. Did you finally get the link? That was so
Yes.
bizarre.
I don't know why it didn't show up the first
Yeah,
time.
that was so bizarre.
Okay.
Okay,
Thank you.
perfect. All right, let's see, who is next? Katrin, I haven't heard from you. Let me unmute you.
I'm here.
How
I'm
are
here.
you?
I'm listening. Good.
Any questions?
Yeah. Questions? Yeah, I do have, then I forget, but right now I remember one is the diet that Mediterranean diet is for me, I guess. That's the one. And it says I can have cheese and yogurt, but that's dairy. I've been not having dairy for months.
Yeah, so let me look. I'm not remembering off the top of my head what I sent you.
Mm-hmm.
What was it? Do you remember?
Yeah, it was in that DNA one, DNA food.
Oh yeah, the DNA diet. Yeah,
Diet,
so that's perfect world. That's you
Okay.
in your healthiest state.
Okay.
Yeah, so we're not quite there.
I can't.
Yeah.
Okay.
We're still, so what
All
you're
right.
gonna do though is, because you should be well past 23 days on your elimination, right?
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
it is.
So if that's something that you would like, reintroduce it and see how it impacts your symptoms.
Well, I do have a symptoms. I won't know even if I have it, any dairy product. I'm not gonna feel it difference because I already have a symptoms.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like my joint pains and all that. So how
Well,
I'm gonna know? It's
well,
good or
they
not?
will produce. That's a great question. That was always Rebecca's question. So honestly, as you continue to clear, it will pop up in other ways when you do reintroduce it. Like your body will experience other, whether it's a headache or increased inflammation or upset stomach. I mean, you would feel a difference, right?
Okay.
Yeah, so your pain would kind of would increase there. So you're still taking the methotrexate?
Yeah, this is 3 weeks. I guess 3 doses. I started to take it. So.
Okay, and what
I
dose?
really don't see any
change
better, but it's not going worse. When I take methotrexate and meloxicam too for the pain, I don't see no getting worse, but it's not getting better either. So it stays same.
Yeah, that's the unfortunate kind of part of that, So one thing that I want to just tell you is that when it's full-blown disease process, it takes a little bit longer, right, to kind of pull through. So keep doing the work. You're doing the work. So you don't feel any difference whatsoever with the diet, with the supplements?
The new supplements after my results that you sent, I'm getting today in the mail. I ordered them last week.
Good. Okay.
And yeah, today I'm getting them, so I'm gonna start, I guess, tonight. And when I get them, or tomorrow morning, I have to actually organize, see which one I'm taking first, and then like morning, lunch, dinner. So I will organize them today. I'm home today, and then start tomorrow.
Awesome.
And I know I remember you told me I may feel sick, but I don't remember on which one I'm gonna feel sick. But
The gut
I hope
healing.
not.
Yeah, so everything that falls under the category of gut healing, the ones that are actually, so I always put those at the top of everyone's supplement list, okay, because those are the ones that are going to be killing off
Okay.
the dysbiosis. That's what creates these bacteria, then create kind of this nauseous type because they don't want to die.
Okay.
All right.
So, okay.
That is called a die-off process.
Okay. So if I get that nauseous feeling, can I have like ginger tea or something that it makes for nauseous feeling?
Yes. Ginger tea would be awesome for you.
Fresh ginger, you know, like that. That helps. Actually, this past week I was having trouble with the stomach. You know, I always had like heartburn and stuff. I think I ate lots of seasoning in my food. When I get that extra seasoning, I start to feel like in my stomach, sensitive stomach I have, you know, and I started to have a ginger tea. So I'm not taking no medication for heartburn or anything. So
good. Because I can give you something if that continues. Yeah.
Yeah.
But I would prefer you to not. You'll have some stuff. I think I've put something in there for that. Digestive enzyme, did I? I'm pretty sure in your supplement list. I'll have to take a look.
I am sure. I have lots. So
You've got plenty. Yeah, you've got plenty.
Yeah.
We're just gonna do this, but that's the other thing, Katrin, that I expected for you, and that you weren't getting better with just changes with your food. You know, so for you, you're not the person that is solely based. You can't just eliminate foods and like, oh, I feel so much better. You had already done that. And so that's, you know, why we had to see what those results are. And now hopefully when we start to target it specifically, you're going to start to feel better. We can start to wean the other stuff.
Okay.
But I want you making progress. I want you feeling better before you start to wean the other stuff. Because you know it's not helping well, it's causing other things, but it's not changing your symptoms that much, right? So if your symptoms start to improve, then that means that we're on the right track, and then we'll start to slowly wean those.
Okay.
That's going to have a whole other impact on other systems like the adrenals.
Okay. And then the that Dutch Plus, when I am gonna have to do that an end?
Just wait.
Okay.
Just wait.
And the diet that I have one more question about the diet. Even the vegetables, like how you know about me that the food doesn't matter. I know I've been eating so clean. All my life I ate clean. Like I'm coming from the country that it was no all these fancy stores and food. So we're used to make our own everything and simple. Everything simple.
Good.
So I am that's why this maybe even I eat extra clean, it don't work for me because my body is used to it anyway for the clean food. So but the vegetables, like the nightshade vegetables that I miss so much, like
add them in one at a time.
Okay.
Over 3 days, and just see if it doesn't do anything. I don't have a response at all to nightshade vegetables.
Okay. All right.
Doesn't influence my
them. Okay.
At all.
I will start with them.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah. So yay. Phase 2. Phase 2. Katrin's gonna kill it. All right. Well, give me an update if you need anything throughout when you start those supplements. Just let me know in the chat. Okay. All right.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Okay, so Tana. Oh, sorry. There. How are you? Are you at work?
I'm at work, but I'm at the not busy hospital, so I can talk for a little bit.
Nice. How's it going?
I don't even know.
You've been having bowel movements?
I have the Doplex and the Smooth Move tea every night for the whole, since we last chatted.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm going every day, but now I have the other problem.
It went the other direction?
More loose and...
Okay, so let's back off then.
Okay. I'm not bloated. Like now, it's been so long since I've not been bloated that I almost have like loose, gross skin.
Okay, stop. That's not nice to your body. But anyhow, our skin has, smooth muscle cells. It will recontract. It's the similar situation after being pregnant, and then all of a sudden you're not pregnant, and it just takes the skin a little bit of time to regain that firmness. And at the end, never fail, there are supplements to help with the integrity of your skin, or you could start like a collagen, but I feel like you're doing plenty. You're adding collagen, aren't you, into your...
I was before I started working with you. I had the Vital Proteins or whatever, but since we've taken everything out, I haven't been doing that.
Okay, so those kind of things, we can get back to that. So don't let that be of concern. Let's celebrate daily bowel movements, even though we've gone from one extreme to the other, but this is huge. We're cleaning the body now. So now what I want you to do this week is that I want you to start reintroducing some of those less restrictive foods, or the foods on the less restrictive list, phase 1.
Okay. Phase 1 less restrictive. Okay. Well, that will be
still phase 1, not going to phase 2, but there's restricted and less restricted.
Okay. Because eating the same thing over and over and
I
over
can't even imagine. Yeah,
hard.
You have been a champ. Seriously, I cannot imagine. I mean, I know how hard it is for me to do the elimination. And so for you to persevere through, and we've gone from, we did elimination, we did low FODMAP, now we're doing BiFit. I mean, we've changed so many things. So you've really been a trooper through that process. But this to me is a huge sign that the methane was the cause of the bloating and the constipation, and not food. So now, now I want you to release, be like, because if we can keep things going and you can start to reintroduce more food without the bloating and the constipation, then we're gonna, yay.
Do I need to start taking the candicidal and burmamycin again? Because I'm not killing it off though, other than with not feeding the...
But we're repairing. We're repairing the gut lining. So we are, we are doing the work. But yeah, you can definitely... I don't know what order. I think I want you eating more food first, and then let's kill off.
Okay.
Can we see if we can get it in that order?
Yeah. Well, I'll do whatever you say.
Okay. Yeah. I know, but I want you to, because you are losing weight, and you're not supposed to. We don't want you losing weight. So.
And I'm tired. I'm so sluggish. I have to climb stairs to get to work, and my muscles just. I can tell it's hard to get up them, and that's not my norm.
Yeah.
Tired.
Yeah, we're going to get you out of that. We can't, if you can just bear with me, because just bear with me, because I don't want to start altering. There are other reasons that you're feeling tired, but if we can just get this process, the this gut issue in check and get you on a regular schedule. I don't want to switch. I mean, like right now I'm like, add more food or start the diet, you know? I mean, it's like you're really complicated. And what I don't want to do is I want to keep things flowing.
Okay.
But I want you to eat.
Okay.
Does it make sense?
Yeah.
So let's do food first.
Okay, so food, and should I keep like drinking the tea or taking the Dulcolax? I've been having a movement every day, like we were talking with Candy. I take it at night, and then I go pretty much, for the most part, first thing in the morning, but maybe more than once. And it's not solid by any sense of the imagination. So should I keep taking them just so we can keep it moving, or?
How many are you? You're just doing the one in the
I
morning.
just do one Dulcolax and then I drink the 1 cup of tea.
Okay, let's see if you can keep it moving with just the 1 cup of tea.
Okay.
If that stops, then go to the Dulcolax and try to remove the tea.
Okay.
Prefer you to get rid of the Dulcolax first, you know, I mean, for obvious reasons, but let's try in that
order. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, because you were combined. You're combined.
Is there a reason for the watery? I mean, that since I've started to go, I haven't had a formed stool. Like, sorry, everybody.
And it's okay. It's part of it. It's part of the healing process. So Tana, you have combo methane and hydrogen SIBO. Okay, so I think, so the methane is what freezes the peristalsis of the colon. The hydrogen increases water absorption and diarrhea. So you were blessed with both worlds. The good news is, though, that you're on the low, it's not like you were exponentially high for methane or exponentially high for hydrogen. So what I'm hoping is that we got the methane, it's moved out. Now, hopefully the peristalsis will continue, and now we're dealing with the hydrogen part of it.
Okay. Hopefully.
It is. I mean, you know, otherwise we're overdoing it with the Dulcolax and the tea.
Okay.
Dulcolax is not supposed to pull fluid into the stool. It does not work like that.
And so I don't know if the tea does, or it's just herbs. It's like licorice and fennel and I think orange root, ginger. There's 2 different versions of it, just that taste different, but the one has a few more herbs in it than the other one. But I don't know if that's causing it, or like you were saying, it's part of the physiological process of whatever's going on.
I think it's part of the process, but we're gonna keep it moving. But let's try to first, so tonight, just do the tea.
Okay.
And then let me know how it goes tomorrow.
Okay.
And start eating more food.
Tomorrow, because I'm on a 24-hour shift, so I have what I have.
Oh, you have what you have. Okay. And then tomorrow you'll switch
3 salads.
Yeah. Bless your heart. That's like, she can eat like, you have your 15 leaves of spinach.
I even took that out because I was like still bloated, and it said that's oxalate or whatever. So I haven't been eating spinach. Lettuce, radishes, peppers, chicken or fish at night. Eggs. Thank God I can still have eggs for breakfast.
Yeah, that's great. The vitamin A. All right, my dear. We're going to move on. Ashley, how are you?
There we go.
There.
Hi.
Hi, how are you?
I'm doing good for the most part. I feel like your little lesson earlier in the session right now was like you were speaking to me. I feel like I'm there, like that's what I need to hear right now. On one end, I try and keep everything positive. Like I'm feeling so much better and I have so much more energy, but now I'm thinking, am I overdoing it? With that energy, and I'm introducing more foods when I was so afraid to for so long. So that's been really good. And I've been, kind of like not letting, my mind sort of play the trick on me of like, oh my God, if you eat that, it's going to happen. Or, you know what I mean? I feel like I still sometimes wrestle with that, because I feel like I've been traumatized, or like there's something connected there where it's like, if you eat this, this is what's going to happen, or something like that. So it's just kind of really just allowing that to be there and happen. And I've been doing the infrared sauna, and
nice.
They recently just got a PMB, the light bulbs. So I tried that last week for the first time, just for 10 minutes. And then I went again yesterday for 20 minutes, so 10 in the front, 10 in the back. And I don't know if it's that, but I'm tired. Like it kind of like drains me. I don't know if that's what it's supposed to do. I mean, I feel fine when I get out of it. And I think especially for my visual snow, the girl that was there was like, no, like you need to, it heals. So you got to like keep your eyes open and, obviously don't stare like at a light bulb, but, have them open while you're in there. So I feel like I really got over that fear, because the first time I did it, I was like, oh my God, I'm not opening my eyes. It's just, so bright or something. But I felt good about it yesterday. I don't know if I woke up today and felt a little nauseous because I ate cereal for the first time in a really long time. It was like the Plain Jane, like organics. I think it was even Cascadian Farm. Like it was the really like Plain Jane cereal with a little bit of almond milk. And I had that, but I hadn't had cereal in like, oh my God, 2 years or something. But I know you had told me, well, you can even maybe have some cereal every once in a while. So yesterday I tried it, and then I just woke up and felt like, man, like I have zero energy. And I've been sleeping good. Like I've been going to bed early. Like I've been going to bed at 9, sleeping a full night, waking up at 6:30. Like I've been
good.
Like, sleep has been so satisfying lately. But yeah, I don't know why I woke up just feeling like a little crappy this morning. I don't know if it was a cereal. I guess I have to try it again.
You're going to have to try it again. But I don't think wait until you don't feel crappy and then try it again. I would be shocked if it were that.
Okay. Maybe it's just part of
it. Could just be part of the infrared. That's really interesting stuff.
Yeah.
So, with infrared, the job is the release of nitric oxide, right, from the blood, and that helps, kind of floats around and helps one with oxidative stress and just overall, it's a very healing therapeutic tool. So back in the day before insurance, they would let us use infrared pads on diabetic ulcers that would not heal. And no matter what you do, and these ulcers would be just terribly debilitating for these patients. And so we would use these infrared light patches on that wound, and the healing was just exponential. And then insurance said it's experimental and stopped covering it. It was ridiculous, but anyhow.
Oh my goodness. So then it's okay to continue with it. I mean, I feel good, but I notice that my body's just like wiped out. Like I feel it's good, but I feel like I really want to like restore now and like rest. But the body does feel
How
relaxed.
often have they recommended that you go?
I just do it once a week.
Okay, yeah.
Like I bought the package for once a week, and I do feel like
Mhm.
I'm a little wiped out for the next 2 days. Like
Oh.
I don't have, I feel okay, but it's like I just feel a little bit like.
Can you control, how long do they have you?
I control the heat. So maybe I'm just going too long.
That's
feel
what
like,
I'm wondering. If maybe
because when
build up.
You're right. Because I started at 20 minutes and that was okay. But since I shouldn't gauge it on how much I sweat, does that, because then I'm like, well, I'm not even really sweaty after 20 minutes. So it kind of starts at 108 and I don't go past 130.
Yes, I would not do it based on how much you're sweating, because you're in there for other purposes, right? Than just the detoxification purpose. I mean, you are there for the detoxification, of course, and the sweating effect. But again, that infrared is doing other things within the body that are healing.
You're right. Because I've been staying maybe 35 minutes, and I noticed like I'm like, pretty heated up, and then I feel great like when I come out of it. But like 2-3 hours after, it's like, man, I really just want to be laying down. So maybe I am just overdoing it.
That makes me think of you're getting a little bit of die off in there. Yeah,
I think so. Yeah, but I do love, or everything that I've read with the light bulbs, the PMB. So that's different. So I feel like maybe if I did one on Monday and then the other one on Friday or something, and kind of, because I don't know.
I'm gonna have to read about that. I'm not as familiar with that. The PMB.
Okay.
What is that?
It's just the panels of light that are the bulbs.
Got it.
It's like red light as well. And that it's extremely healing, like on a cellular level. So
that is awesome.
I guess I can send it to you, and then
do.
you can let me know. And I guess if you could help me gauge like how long or how much, because I feel like I tend to overdo a lot of things. So maybe
what I would do is I would, the next time, try 20 minutes instead of 35. Try 20, and do everything kind of the same as what you were doing in the 35, but just try a shorter duration and see what type, because it sounds like die off to me.
Yeah.
Like you're
and even like my anxiety will peak a little, and then it goes away, and it's like I have the best 5 days I've ever had, especially with my OCD. Like it'll just be like gone. And then all of a sudden, like it builds up again, and then it'll be like better. It's the weirdest thing. And I guess now I'm at a place where I can like see it like happening. I'm like, oh my God, I'm getting these old symptoms again. Like, why am I getting all major OCD again? Like, and then it'll just be like peace. It's like, it's crazy for like a few days, and then it comes back. So I hope that's die off.
I really do think that it is.
Okay.
Yeah, I really do.
Awesome. Then I'm gonna stick with it. I think it's really good. It's a good investment. I never wanted to spend the money on it before, and now I'm just like, it's not even that much. But I mean, I would just be like, no, and now I'm just like, this is so good.
Yeah, good. And I'm diving deep into copper and zinc ratios, and
oh my God, thank you. The only information that I've ever heard is the copper thing, and I'm just, because my visual snow is significantly better, but it's still there. And when I get into like an anxious state, it's like where my mind goes. It's like, oh look, there, like, and then it's like, then I see it everywhere. So I think it goes hand in hand with anxiety. But when that's good, and I've seen like I said, it's gotten so much better where I can actually go periods of weeks where I'm not thinking about it.
Right.
And then it's like, it's not there,
Yeah.
But
and
when
it's highly linked. So first of all, the research, as you probably know, is so incredibly limited over these topics.
It's terrible. Like, I feel like to not know or not have very much was
there's
even
not a
more
ton.
anxiety provoking because,
But I definitely think that this is, so one thing that I've found pretty interesting with your case, and this is why going back, and now you're telling me sauna with the die-off, I mean, that you're kind of experiencing this with the detoxification process. As I'm diving into this research, a lot is coming out about, clearly liver metabolism, and a sluggish liver increases your copper levels, contributing to copper toxicity. But then when I look at your cortisol clearance, it's low as well. So your overall production of cortisol tends to be on the lower side.
Yeah.
But you often will experience, even though you experience a lot of fatigue, sometimes you'll experience some of the symptoms that are kind of like high cortisol symptoms, right? And this response to stress. So, but it's because our organs are constantly metabolizing cortisol to cortisone in inactive form, but yours occurs at a much slower rate.
I see.
So anyhow, that's where I am. I'm getting there.
Thank you. No, and I appreciate you.
It's a trickle effect, and then it even gets into vitamin A and retinol, so vitamin A and eyesight. And I'm like, this is fascinating, but it does take some time. It's a lot.
No, and thank you, because I know you're really, like, thank you for leaving me the little messages, because it makes me feel better. I feel like it's been 2 years of constant searching, and I've really given it up. Like, I'd given it up. I was like, I'm just going to be at peace with this. I'm going to accept it, and so, and then it's like, I see it improve, and then I see it almost like get worse and then improve. It's the weirdest thing. So I don't know, but I know that was a random video I sent you, but he's the only person that has been through it, doesn't have it, and now helps people. So I don't know. I was like, it's worth just throwing it out there, because that's the only person that talks about it. So.
I know I've had a really hard time. Like, there's no research specific to visual snow, zero, not a single research article that's been produced. So that means that you have to look at the biological processes involved in it, and that takes a long time to read through the article and really try to draw out of it. And it takes me down another little pathway of vitamin A metabolism and then how that could impact the vision. And also there's a really interesting link between melatonin and cortisol, and they play such an important role in maintaining our circadian rhythm, and the fact that you weren't sleeping well as well could
and then I was depleted in all of my vitamins and anemic, and it's just that couldn't, the visual snow at that point was awful. This is I can live with this, you know what I mean? But at one point it was really unbearable. It was unbearable. So thank you for digging deep, and I have so much faith that,
hey,
it'll continue.
This is what I tell everyone: when you can be without symptoms, that's when you know that you can get to be without symptoms, right? You can feel yourself. That doesn't mean that you won't cycle occasionally, but that definitely is a good sign that if we can get rid of it for this amount of time, then that's going to continue to lengthen as we heal the other processes that are in place.
Yeah.
All right. Any other questions? Miss Diane, you have, usually these do not last an hour and 36 minutes. This is a really intense session, but this has been great. I've enjoyed it. Do you have any questions that have popped up? I know you and I kind of went through.
No, because I just started everything, and we'll see how it goes next week. Maybe I'll have more questions.
Okay, sounds great. All right, everyone, let me know any questions, anything that pop up over the week, and otherwise I'll see you back on Tuesday. And yeah, Candy, let me know if you have any questions with your lab that you're running as well. I can't wait to get the results back for that.
Yeah, me too.
Can't wait.
Me too.
So, all right. Well, and you keep me updated too on how you're doing with the increases.
Okay. All right.
I always worry about you if I don't see an update every couple days, just so you know.
Okay, I'll let.
I like frequent check-ins from you.
Okay, I can do that.
Okay, thank you. All right, you all take care. Have a great week.
You too. Everyone have a good week. Bye.
All right, see you.
Bye.